Hello, and thank you guys for tuning into, I always get that wrong, Heavenly Cynt People You Should Know. My name is Cynthia Manuel, founder of Heavenly Cynt Youth, where we expose kids to different outside of their neighborhoods as well as mentoring. With that being said, we just finished up so many different initiatives. I am also in partnership with about 7 friends of mine. We're called Peace in the Village. It's about 7 or 8 females, and we just did a fall fest in collaboration with the city of Chicago and many other organizations. I don't want to start naming because I don't want to forget anybody, and then y'all be upset with me saying that I didn't say y'all organization, right? So with that being said, it was really nice. Resources for the kids. We had games out there. We had giveaways. We had food. It was just an awesome time. So I'm grateful to be a part of that organization. As I just said, it's called Peace in the Village. And as you guys know, I have an 18-year-old son now. I just celebrated his birthday, right? So when I say stressed, I am beyond stressed. He's been my baby. He's 18 now. He's developing into this grown man now. And so, you know, I can honestly say I did my part as a parent. And so I'm just excited to see what doors God is going to open for him. So kudos, kudos, kudos. Just got off the plane. And so it's crazy out there in the world. Flights were being canceled. We at the airport nervous. They delayed our flight a couple times. And so nothing but the grace of God allowed us to take off and get back home safe and sound. So I'm so grateful for that. So with that being said, as you guys know, I always bring on people I think you guys should know, right? People that are doing amazing things in the community, people that are working with youth, so on and so forth. So without further ado, this woman sitting next to me on my, on my left and my right. Right.
Right.
I always do that, right? She on my right. I was introduced to her by a good friend of mine, Robbie. Shout out to Robbie. Robbie's always connecting. She's awesome.
She's a great connector.
Yes, she is. And so Robbie introduced me to Miss Star, and we have been locked in and just sharing stories and you know, it was just a pleasure to sit her. She actually interviewed me, right? So that is so cool. So with that being said, Miss Star works for the Encompassing Center, and that is
It's a mental health center that's located on the west side of Chicago, 3019 West Harrison. And so it's right there in the middle of the west side, you know, and we service North Lawndale, East and West Garfield Park, and near West Side. And so right now our services are free to the communities. And the way that we service them is the reason why the funding comes from their TIF dollars, their property tax dollars. So everything is completely free.
And she said free. So there was a point in my life where I didn't believe in talking to a therapist. I thought it was crazy. I thought this and I thought that, but not until life started happening, right? And so I'm not real trusting of others. And so I was hearing all these good things about the Encompassing Center. And, you know, I was like, let me give them a try. So I did, right? And I'm so happy that I did because I have a cool therapist over there. And I was able to sit and talk with her in private. And she revealed some things to me that I didn't know about myself, right? And so with that being said, time got the best of me and I dropped out. I stopped going. And so after talking to Miss Star, they also offer Zoom sessions. So my schedule is crazy. So I'm definitely going back because it helps. Like, for real, it really helps. So I encourage you guys to take advantage of the free resources. And so Miss Star was just telling me that she's been there over 5 years. So I just got a couple questions for her. And she can help you guys understand what they do, why they do it, and how you guys can get involved in the Encompassing Center with free services for now, right?
Yeah.
So y'all go over there and take advantage. So with that being said, Ms. Star, what inspired you to pursue a career in mental health?
Well, one reason I believe that this is my swan song because the services are provided by Catholic Charities, and I've been with Catholic Charities for 24 and a half years, so soon to be 25 years. And so So I've been in various different departments, but I ended up where I am, and I'm glad that I applied to be in this department because I have a son who will be 40 years old, and he's challenged with schizoid effect. And so, learning different things about my family and my son and that was my goal, how to interact with my son, not to be a trigger to him, and how to give him the help that he needed to have, and to also make it a safe place, let him understand that it's something that it's okay to do. So that's one reason why I'm in this field, where I'm so happy to be. I'm not a therapist. I am an outreach coordinator. And so what I do, I blast out, let people know about what it is to be, the barriers. I tear them down because people at the end of the day just want to be able to be able to smile when they wake up in the morning, to think clearly, to be able to process situations and navigate, pick up some tools that you can get yourself together instead of have to have meltdowns or other kind of things that may hinder your growth or your movement in a day. And so me knowing that and me being that, and because I have a therapist myself, I have to tell you that everybody needs somebody to talk to. I need that process in myself. So that's the reason why, because I believe that everybody needs somebody to talk to, and it may not be as big as you think it is. It could be just, let me get it out, let me talk about it.
I love it.
What
are some of the challenges that you have faced working in this space?
Well, some of the challenges are that the barriers, letting people know that, because for a long time we've been taught, we ain't telling people if we got little problems, and we put a little Johnny in the closet, and when company come over, go hide, keep him upstairs in this room, instead of trying to deal with whatever's going, the difficulties that he's having with him, with her. And wow, that time is over with. I believe this is the best time right now to move forward, to be free in your mind, so that you can be able to think clearly, process situations, so that you can be the best person you can be, instead of and then to breaking away from family, old traditions, old habits, or hiding.
Thank you.
Hiding truths about what's going on, because they're, being embarrassed or ashamed because you feel like it's something that you did, or people will blame you for whatever's going on. So I think I lost track of the question, but there you go.
You're right on point. I appreciate it. It's live, uncut, unedited, as they say. But I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you made mention of that, because that's another reason why I think people should seek therapy, for that very reason. Things happen in the house, and like she just mentioned, it's like, oh, don't say anything, don't tell anybody. And the sad part about it is that kids grow up to be adults, and they deal with these different traumas. And it's been a secret forever, and so now they're acting out on, those childhood traumas and triggers and things that happen. And so now they grow up and all discombobulated and trying to figure it out and acting out in anger. And, we always try to figure out, even, when I'm talking to people, I always tell people in regards to their kids or their self, everything that a person is going through, it's because of something. So don't be quick to judge people based on what they see or how they act. Talk to them and understand, some of the triggers or some of the things they've been through before we pass judgment. And in therapy, although they don't ask that, they'll ask you, what is it that you want to talk about? So it's an open space. They don't pressure you to any of that. And so as you start talking, they're taking notes. And then it's like, you know what? Because I remember talking to my therapist, and she pointed some things out to me. And I was like, you know what? I never paid attention. Like, I know I'm not an emotional person, right? But that's because of past traumas. Because I've just had to go through the motions. I never really made time to heal from anything. It's like, okay, that happened. Okay, now it's this, and now it's that, now it's that. And before I know it, I'm a ticking time bomb ready to explode, and not realizing that, again, those traumas and those triggers are the reason I act out in some ways that probably aren't in my best interest at times. So, yeah, I got to get back to that. How do you maintain your own mental wellness while trying to be an advocate or in that space for others?
Well, that's a good question because I thought that when I was helping other people, that I was helping me.
Wow.
But truly what I was doing was just doing that instead of, so I wouldn't have to deal with me.
Wow.
And so
That's deep.
what I found out now, through, just life circumstances, a lot of therapy, talking with, some people helping me navigate and process my situations.
Wow.
I found out that I have to sometimes say no, sometimes move back, sometimes tap out if it's too much for me, if it's a trigger, it may be a trigger for me. And so I try to do things that will keep me focused on what is at hand and separate, is this my stuff or am I pushing what I feel
That's a
or
lot.
what I think this person needs on that I want them to have on them. So I do a lot of processing now. I stop and I think before I move and touch and follow through. My follow through has to be sincere and truly for the person, but I have to make sure I separate me from them, meaning from what my stuff is and what's needed from them.
Wow.
And so that's what helped. That's because I found that when I was doing it and hiding behind it, in a sense, not dealing with my stuff, I would be depleted when I got home. I would just fall apart at home. And so I still had to deal with me because now I had their stuff in mind too.
Wow. Yeah, that seems a lot. I can only imagine sitting
Yeah.
there talking to person after person after person after person, or even just people coming in, just, short conversation, all that stuff piles up. And when you get home, it's like, oh, what happened? So, wow.
So I'm not a therapist. I do have to say that, but I deal with people. So I'm like the person that the forerunner. I go out and I talk to people about, just have my talk to them. I work for the Encompassing Center. I tell them what I do and that it's a place that is it's a mental health center. And then people try to walk away, and I just like walk with them and talk with them because they run like you say mental health. I'm like, whoa, nah, I ain't crazy. But I don't use the word crazy. No, everybody needs somebody to talk to at one given, some given point. And so, and I just let them know. I'm like, and so, well, how you know that you need therapy? I said, only person who knows that is you. Do you need to talk to somebody? Is there some things that are pressing on you? When you wake up, do you feel like you're stuck or, all those kind of things? And you got a lot of pressure or something that you need to release and that you don't know have a space or a free space to do that in or a safe space that you could do that in. I'm like, that's all therapy is. It's not even something that it's not the bigger part. People think about the other things like schizophrenic, being
correct.
And
Yep.
bipolarism, all those things. But if you deal with this now, those onsets may not ever happen.
Wow.
So just to be able to just process things with somebody.
And see, just to reiterate, you are not a therapist, but your spirit is warm and welcoming. And just in conversation, I can just see people, just in conversation, in your walk. And like you said, you out there in the community and you're an advocate for it. So you're talking to all kind of people. And so everybody's story, is not the same. So just you trying to advocate or let people know what it is you do, I can just imagine. Because like you said, schizophrenia, you think about all this stuff. So now, after we didn't got that out the way, okay, so my mental health ain't got to be schizophrenia,
Right.
all this other stuff. Okay, now let me talk. Okay, this is what I'm going through, So,
and they do. They just start opening up, and
See?
because you have to let them know that nobody's saying that we ain't talking about this. We ain't saying that you got nothing. I'm not diagnosing anything. That is not what I mean. I'm just saying that. I'm like, at the end of the day, sometimes I need help to process my day, process me. And what's weighing heavy on my heart or that's keeping me from really thinking correctly. Because sometimes we make the wrong decisions because we have not had a chance to have a safe space to think about it or talk about it or express it.
Wow.
So we just move. And when you move out and do those things and put your hands on stuff you ain't got no business doing because you have made your mind is so full of stuff that you have not been able to process.
Wow.
And so and that's what I try to tell people when I'm in the field. I'm like, Baby, you don't have to. This is not even like that. It's just everybody needs somebody to talk to.
I love it.
You know, and then too, we have to get away from what our parents or grandparents used to say to us about how, you know, we don't do crazy, we don't do this, you know, we not that, and don't you tell nobody this and that, and you have, and what happens in our house stays in our house. Okay, so what? Those things did happen, but it don't have to define who you are.
Wow, right.
Or dictate how you live.
Right.
You know, you don't want it to stunt you because it can make you stay stuck.
Wow.
And you know, and you don't want to point a finger at people, but you still have to face stuff because otherwise it can keep you in a space that you just an incubator, and it's not you're not living, you're not moving, and so I think therapy is so important, and I think this is the young people today. One thing, they are not staying stuck. The young people today is working at the Encompassing Center because we service from 3 years old up.
Really?
Yes, and so we've had young people come through the door. They're ready for help. They're like, I don't want this to stay in my head. I don't want to stay like this. I want to be able to talk to people and be able to make right decisions, or at least, you know, decipher stuff in a correct way. And so they're coming, and the door is open. It's just that you have to separate them from old way of thinking. Don't tell nobody. Don't talk to nobody. They gonna say this. They gonna think that. Oh, my thing is skip that.
Wow, you're right.
Skip that. You could judge me how you want to, because you're the only one who got to live with you. They have to live with them. They want to deal with that and keep that hidden. I have a life in front of you that you want to live, and to do that, why not just okay? Let me get this monkey off my back. Let's get it up off me.
You're right.
So I can move forward.
Because it's heavy.
It is. It is so heavy. And I just want people to be free.
Wow.
You know, you want freedom. Freedom is and it's a privilege to be free. Because this day and time, people, they want you to stay, not people, but just old ways of thinking want you to stay way down.
Wow. That's tough.
Yeah. Stay
so,
way down.
What are common mental health concerns you're seeing in your community, like right now?
Mental health concerns. Well, I know what triggers them is, you know, not having enough to eat.
Wow.
You know, not being able to take care of their family.
Wow.
No job, no income. You know.
Wow.
Nowhere to live. Those things, and then too. Combined with maybe things that may not have been in their household, then somebody at school, somebody they work with said some derogatory things, some bad things to them that hit them in a way that was traumatic. Because trauma is not that, people use trauma like, oh, that's trauma. That was trauma. Trauma is how it affects you.
Wow.
So one thing something that happened to one person and it won't be traumatic, but it'll happen to another person and it'll affect them in a traumatic way where it kind of dictates how they move, and it kind of it's life altering in a sense.
Wow.
So that's what trauma is, and that's what I think people understanding what they're walking with. I think people are not understanding that they are living with trauma.
Wow.
Walking daily, going and not being able to do things in their daily walk because of a traumatic situation that happened to them, and now they're carrying that weight and stress.
Wow. Because, you know, I put a post on social media a while ago, and I asked people, when you feel as if you got the weight of the world on you, what is your escape, right? And I was so shocked at people. And so I said outside of alcohol and drugs. And so just some of the things that people were saying, like reading, walking, yoga, and all these things. And when I'm dealing with people, and even in the group that I'm in, I say the same thing. You know, I asked them, I make it my business to put in the group, what is it how did you show up for yourself, whether it be today or last week? Because we get so caught up with work, family, finances, and everything in between. And so it could be over bearing, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have to find that space where you can just exhale. Because if you don't, I mean, like hence to what you were saying earlier, that's added stress, and we know pressure busts pipes, and people make bad decisions based on how they feeling, and so it's so important. She can't stress it enough to go out and find somebody to talk to, or get yourself a safe space, or whatever. But because when you look on the news, we got violence happening, people being killed, kids killing people, and car crashes, and everything in between. It's almost to a point to where we're desensitized to that. And that's traumatic, right? Because every day, you don't know what to expect walking outside. And so, yeah, it could be detrimental to the mind.
You mind if I ask go back to something you were talking about?
Please.
When you said, how do you show up for yourself? What does that look like?
For me?
And so, no,
okay.
I just want to expound on it about showing up for you is the sense of self-care. And it's not like what you're thinking it may be. I was talking with my director today, and she said showing up for yourself is like going to a doctor's appointment. Going to the eye doctor, taking care of yourself.
That's not for me. That's normal stuff. We got to do that.
Yeah, but that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people who neglect that in order to take care of other people. And so it's not something a part of their daily walk. And so, but showing up for you is like making sure that you eat. Showing up for you.
But I'm laughing because
showing up
it's
for
minor.
You. Yes.
But yeah,
and we have to think about it in that way too, because a lot of people thinking showing up for yourself, getting your hair done, nails done, everything done. They think that's what it's all about. No, what is it going to do to sustain you, your life? What's going to make you be okay in the next month, or your longevity in your life? I need to go to the dentist. I need to go get my mammogram. I need to do those things. That's showing up for you. So if you're not showing up for you in those ways, you may not be showing up yourself other ways that people are. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna read me a book.
I like that.
I'm gonna read me a book. Yeah, I will to get my stress levels back in order. I'm gonna do that. I may take a bath to get and that's self-care too, because you're coming down off the stress of the day.
I'm going to give me a massage tomorrow.
Yeah, you can do that too, because that's what it is, because the stress level, that's one thing, is that why our bodies are so discombobulated and all our organs are overrun, because it's an engine that's continually revving, because the body already has a stress mechanism that you can handle each stressful event. But what happens is they all run together. We never sit and stop and come back down before we start again.
I like that.
So it continues to rev.
You're right.
So we have to learn how to, in between stressful situations, to woosah.
And it's funny because I know a lady, she show up for every single body else, but like what you just said, won't go get her eyes checked, or won't do this for herself. And I tell her, like, you do everything for everybody else. Like, what about you? You keep putting you off. No, make sure you're good. And so that's so profound, because we don't think about the little small things that matter, that we neglect trying to show up for everybody else. So I'm glad you said that. Because
for men, that is a big thing. They don't go to the doctor, a lot of them.
Yeah, you're right.
And so that's self-care. That's showing up for themselves.
Wow, you're right.
So women, they might do it more than men, but because a man, just like if he gonna be taking care of his family, he gonna be working, he gonna be doing what he need to do and make sure you're good too. And so that would be their thing for self-care and loving themselves and doing what they need to do so they can be sustained.
So can you give us the address again over to the Encompassing Center?
So the Encompassing Center is 3019 West Harrison Street. And we're right down the street from the 11th District Police Station, right across the street from Jensen Elementary School as well. And we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30.
So if an individual wanted to get some information or come in for therapy sessions, what does that look like? How do they go about doing that?
So we have a referral system. You can actually go on to our website, which is encompassingcenter.org. You can go to there and you can do, actually there is a drop down where you can go in there and put your contact information, and then at the bottom say what you need. And then someone will get back in touch with you within 24 to 48 hours, unless it's a holiday or it's the weekend.
So do you guys do family, couples?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We do group therapy. We do family therapy. We do singles therapy. We do couples therapy, marriage therapy. Wow. We also are in schools too as well, where we have therapists who go into the schools and they see the students there while they're inside the school, and we also have different cohorts that we put together, like teaching parenting cohorts and stuff like that. So we have a gamut of different things that we can offer our clients, so that, and because we don't like to say clients either. You just want our patrons, the people who come, and we just make sure that they're good, that we offer those things. We even have a food pantry. We have a clothing pantry. We do, and we also have. We train at our site as well.
Really?
So yes, we have a suicide prevention educator. So we have prevention education going on. So, and if someone wants to, like an entity wants our prevention educator to come out and do, and they get a QPR training as well to know the signs of suicide. And they get that, they get a certificate and everything. He'll come out, just let them know, and he'll come out and do an actual training. So everybody will know, and that's something that is free of charge from the Encompassing Center. It's all paid for with the funding that we have from our community citizens, because they are the owners of our center. We have to stress that they did the legwork, they got the referendum on the ballot, so that they can have a mental health facility in their community for their people. So they worked hard for each other.
So with that being said, you guys heard it. Brought Miss Star on. She's from the Encompassing Center. It's a free. It's right in the community. Right down the street from the 10th District, across the street from, what school you said?
Jensen
High School. Y'all go
down the
over
street
there.
from 11th District.
I'm sorry, 11. Yeah, 10th on the other side, 10th on Ogden. 11th District. So y'all go over there, get some information, go on the website, get help. You know, we need to help each other. And so with that being said, I thank you so much, Star, for coming in.
Thank you for allowing me to come into your space.
I thank God for you. With that being said, thank you. You can, listen to me. Thank you, CAN TV, for allowing me this space to bring on Heavenly Sent People You Should Know. Shout out to my mother, my grandma, my son, my supporters, everybody that support me. Until then, anybody you want to say, give a shout out to?
Well, just thank God that this space is available, that you bring this to the people. And my loved ones, all of y'all, because I don't want to be in trouble.
I know, right? So until then, we'll see you guys next month, same time. Heavenly Sent People You Should Know.
Thank you.